Now we need to talk about the importance, the crucial necessity of being out here, of taking actions against the crimes of this government and against war criminals like Robert Gates. In the midst of the longest presidential election in history, we saw millions of people flood into political life, with the hope that real change was coming, that the era of George W. Bush was over, and that all the crimes that had been committed were going to be washed away from a savior from the Democratic Party. Now the reality is that there is no motion to prosecute the Bush administration for war crimes or crimes against humanity. We have seen a collapse of the anti-war movement in the face of this rebranding of what this government does and whose interest it is acting in. The illusion that Barack Obama represents any fundamental change is deadly. He is escalating the war in Afghanistan, saying it is a good war. What is good about sending 21,000 more troops to the existing 38,000 already there? We have seen more concentrated killing of civilians in that country than during the entire time the Bush administration was in power. Less than a month ago, a U.S. air raid killed over 140 innocent civilians in the western province of Farah. This administration has sent drones to Pakistan that have killed scores of other civilians. Barack Obama is expanding the torture state by securing executive power and doubling the size of Bagram Detention Center in Afghanistan that has been used to detain and torture people throughout this war. And now most recently, he has refused to release thousands of photographs showing the U.S. government torturing and dehumanizing people and children, proving that torture, rape, and the forced submission of innocent people are not aberrations, but are necessary crimes in the expansion of U.S. empire. The war on terror has proven itself to be a war of terror on the people of the world, and this is the rubric in which the Bush administration and now the current administration has seduced the American people into going along with crimes against humanity. The narrative is being put out that now Obama is president, the U.S. is setting out to be a force of good in the world. This narrative is paralyzing people. It is within these parameters that the movement has turned its attention away from the crimes of this government and has refashioned its fight for what is good for the American people. There is no flag big enough to cover up the shame of killing innocent people. We need to reset these terms based on what is needed for humanity. The parameters need to be you are either for these criminal wars of aggression or you are against them. Are you going